I'm very happy to talk about composting business because that has been a major concern about environment. And one thing I understand is that we have been we have been just dumping our waste without any management. And what I've been trying to do is to make compost and help and create awareness to people that there is nothing called waste until wasted. And when I got the opportunity to go to United States, I gained a lot of experience, and I had to come back and write my business plan to be able to accommodate the new plans I have about the composting. And one of the things is that I have included that I need to do a lot of awareness, even not only to the communities, but also to the government institutions, trying to inform them that it's very important for them to take care of the waste, especially solid waste management. And another thing is that to be a role model, I have found that it's very important for me before I sell out the product to use that product in my own farm and get my own food for sale and also for my household use. So I can say that now my exchange to United States was not in vain. I learned a lot about waste management, how to sort waste, and also how I can be able to package my product to look beautiful, and also to about marketing and good use of the compost.
Are you selling the compost now?
Since I came back, I halted all operation to rewrite my business plan to accommodate, to make it a bigger vision. Because initially it was just a small vision, but now when I came back, I'm now trying to bring the wide knowledge that I got to do it commercially, because now I have a lot of faith in it, and I do now believe in it because I've seen large companies in the United States doing it commercially and being very successful.
So who do you see as being the market to sell the compost to?
Before I left Kenya to United States, I never thought I can take my product to the supermarket or Home Depot. But when I went to the United States, I found that most of the compost is being sold in the supermarket. So one of the target market is to reach out to the supermarket and Home Depots and inform them importance of using the compost to replenish our soil. So the major outlet now will be the supermarket, because that's where many people go to do their shopping. So I'm targeting the supermarket, Home Depot, and also people who are doing nursery, tree nurseries.
Large chains. Is Home Depot here?
It's just similar to Home Depot. We just call them agrovets.
Okay.
And also people who deal with seeds and also chemicals.
Okay.
And there's other synthetic fertilizers. Yes.
And then what about, you had mentioned working with the government to get like large scale composting, them to understand, and I know that Nairobi's working on a urban agriculture policy plan for the city. I asked Paris, if composting was part of that, and she said a little bit, but what would you, like, if you were going to advocate for a Nairobi compost system, what would you look like?
What I've learned is that although there's a small specks of agriculture in Africa, in Nairobi, the main farmers are outside Nairobi. So what I've decided is that to reach out to the slaughterhouse waste from peri-urban, to start doing the small pilot project in those in the slaughterhouse, and also the waste market from the peri-urban, because that's where a lot of farming is being done. About policy, I can say that now things are changed since we get the new constitution, and the implementation of the new constitution has now the new proposed policies have found that they have to include the views of the ordinary people. And that, by ordinary people, I mean that the citizens now have to put their views and on any policy about supporting like agriculture. So that's another opportunity that they have to rewrite it again and getting views from the communities, and that's one of the advantage. And another thing is that there is a lot of waste, and it has now created a big problem to the government. So what I'm trying to do, I've already met with several politicians, and I've shared with them most of the successful politicians who are doing very well in their constituency. So I've shared with them through email and also sometimes through the phone the importance of starting using the compost instead of just waiting the synthetic fertilizer. Yeah.
And because of the waste, like how does the waste get handled in the city of Nairobi? The trash.
Here, there's no business. I can say people don't have any business with the waste. They just term everything as a waste. So even there's nothing called sorting a source. So everything is just combined together and then thrown to the dump site. Apart from the scrap metals, papers, and plastic, which have ready market, but the solid waste management is also being dumped, and where they dump that waste, it's now a health problem to the surrounding community. So the government also is trying to look for the solution about that waste.
So the plastic and the metal
Yes.
is taken out because it's worth money.
Yeah, and it's ready market.
Okay.
And there are companies who are doing the recycling for that.
Okay.
Yes. And the bylaws, what I have understood is that also the bylaws of the city has now been started changing, because they want to come out with the solutions of how to reduce, how to reuse, and how to recycle the waste. So not only concentrating with the things like plastic and metals, but also the solid waste. So there's a lot of programs especially in the slums, which are being supported by the local government to start at least community composting for income, especially for the low income areas.